Hi everyone, my name is Kate and today we are going to crochet this Y2k top. It's really fast to crochet, about a couple of hours, so you definitely cope with that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave your comment and let's get started. For this project I use a yarn by HOBBII in beautiful golden milk color. It's cotton with polyamide and metallic fiber, good for summer crochet or knitting projects. Links for this yarn you will find in the description under the video. For size SM we'll need 2 skeins of yarn in 15 grams 120 meters, 4mm hook, scissors, centimeter, and a needle with markers. Make a chain of 93 air loops, or you can make another quantity. The main thing, it has multiple of 3 and in centimeters was equal to not a full girth of the place above your waist. I have it about 60-61 centimeters. It's my chain and at the stretched form it reaches 61 centimeters. You should also reach your parameters, but you should stretch it lightly. Add 2 more air loops, 1, 2, and now in the third loop we should insert our hook. The loop on the hook doesn't count. Yarn over, insert the hook into this third braid, grab the yarn and crochet 3 loops together. That is half double crochet. Then again, yarn over and put the hook into the next loop, grab the yarn and crochet 3 loops together. We should crochet half double crochets until the end of our chain. I make the last double crochet and this is what our first row looks like. Chain of 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. Now we are going to make arches. We skip the first 2 loops and start crocheting in the third. Yarn over, put the hook into the third loop and crochet 3 loops together. Then chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over and skip 2 loops and insert the hook into the third, right here. Then again chain 2, yarn over, skip 2 loops and insert the hook into the third. Crochet 3 loops together. And this is how our arches looks like, and if you want you can crochet without them, just usual half double crochets starting from the second loop. But I decided to diversify the top with such arches, so to the end of the row we continue to crochet in the same way. I have 3 stitches left and yarn over, insert the hook into this last stitch and crochet 3 loops together. Here is our row with arches. Chain of 2 and turn your work. In the first arch we should crochet only 1 half double crochet because our first air loops is counted as 1 stitch. Then the next half double crochet in this connection. Then 2 stitches in arch, 1, 2. Then again in this connection, and again 2 stitches in this arch. Continue crocheting like this until the end of the row. The last arch 1 half double crochet, 2, and the very last stitch we have to crochet into this side loop right here. Put the hook into this loop and crochet 3 loops together, 2 air loops, and turn your work. If you want, you can do an extra row with arches. To do this, we should take 3 air loops, and in the third stitch we crochet half double crochet, then 2 air loop, yarn over, skip 2 loops, and in the third crochet half double crochet, and like this until the end of the row. But I just continue to crochet a row with half double crochets. So just chain of 2, turn your work and yarn over. In the second loop, insert the hook, grab the yarn and crochet 3 loops together. Again yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch and crochet 3 loops together. Crochet like this until the end of the row. It's my penultimate stitch. And the last stitch we crochet in these side loops. It's our chain of 2 from the previous row. And with each subsequent row, don't forget to crochet the last stitch in these side loops. Chain of 2, turn your work, and from the second loop, start crocheting half double crochets to the end of the row. This is my last half double crochet, and I insert the hook into these side air loops. Chain 2 and turn your work. And from the second stitch, start crocheting half double crochets to the end of the row, and so on until we reach about 23 rows up. It's about 16 centimeters up. It all depends on where you want your neckline to start. I ended my first skein, and now we're going to add a second skein. Take the yarn from the second skein and yarn over with a new yarn. Hold the tip with your finger. Insert the hook into the next loop, as we usually do, and the tip is crocheted together so it won't be hidden with a needle. I crocheted 23 rows up. This is how my rectangular looks like, and now we need markers to mark the middle of the rectangular and mark the edges of the triangles, which will cover the chest. To find the middle, you can just fold in half a rectangle, and that's how to find the middle, or count by hand the stitches so we have on both sides the same amount of stitches. We need to mark the width of the triangles. It's better to try on yourself and point where you want to end a triangle. I count from marker 24 loops and mark 24s. The other side the same. You can do another distance between the triangles. In fact, I have now 1 loop, where is my middle marker, but you may have 3 loops or 5 loops as you want. At the end of the rectangular, chain 1 and cut the yarn. Make a starting loop, and now put the hook into this loop, which is next to the marker. Take it out and make a chain of 2. 1, 2. Yarn over and put the hook into the next stitch and crochet half double crochet. Again yarn over, put the hook into the next loop and crochet 3 loops together. Crochet like this until the next marker. Take off the marker and here we crochet the last stitch. Chain 2 and turn your work. Yarn over, and from the second stitch start crocheting half double crochet until the end of the row. And here at the end we don't crochet the last stitch in these side loops, just chain of 2 and turn the work. And now we're going to make decrease, so yarn over, put the hook into the second loop, crochet only 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over again, put the hook into the next stitch, crochet 2 loops, then 3 loops together. It's our decrease. Then crochet as usual until the end of the row. In these side stitches we don't crochet the last stitch, just chain of 2 and turn your work. Again from the second stitch, start crocheting the decrease. Crochet only 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over again, put the hook into the next stitch, crochet 2 loops, then 3 together. Then as usual to the end of the row. This is how our decrease from the previous row looks like, and we need to crochet it too. Chain of 2 and turn your work. Start making decrease. Then crochet as usual and crochet up until we have 3 stitches left. I have 3 stitches left, and you can crochet more until there is only 1 left. This will depend on the kind of ties you want to make yourself. And this is what my triangle looks like. The height of the triangle is about 10.5 centimeters. Just make chain of 1 and cut the yarn. Start crocheting a second triangle, again make a starter loop and insert it into the right side of the left triangle. Make 2 air loops and turn your work. Yarn over and insert the hook into the next loop and crochet it with this tip until the next marker. The last stitch, chain of 2 and turn your work. From the second stitch, continue crocheting half double crochets until the end of the row. At the end, we don't crochet the last stitch in this side loop, just chain of 2 and turn your work. And from this row we start crocheting decreases. Continue crocheting until the end of the row, then move on the next row, and it also begins with decreases, and crochet everything exactly as we did in the first triangle. Chain 1 and cut the yarn, and we can hide all the ends with the needle. And now we'll crochet the whole top edge. Make the first loop and put the hook into this first stitch. Chain 1 and put the hook into the same place. Grab the yarn and crochet 2 loops together. Then insert the hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn and crochet 2 loops together. This is our single crochet, and crochet like this until our triangle. On the triangle will be harder to crochet, but most importantly we shouldn't put the hook into these open spaces, but rather here in these connections, so that we don't have a hole on the sides. So here just look carefully where I put the hook, because it's quite difficult to explain in what connections I put the hook. So such a neat edge we have with you, and on the top of the triangle we crochet 3 single crochets and then crochet everything as I showed you to the end. The last stitch, chain 1 and cut the yarn. With the needle you can hide the end. That's what we have, and we only need to make the ties. I've already done one, and this is such a braid and plait, it looks unusual. If you don't want to sit long and plait, you can certainly pick up a chain of air loops, and starting from the second row you can crochet single crochets. For one tie we need to measure 4 pieces of 4 meters each. Take 2 of them and pull into the side of the top of the triangle, and also this loop behind the stitch. Connect the 2 ends of the 2 pieces and equalize the middle. Take another 2 pieces and pull them into the other stitch. Equalize also in the middle. And now we'll wave plates. Turn the work to be more convenient, and we start to twist one part to the left, and the second part also twist to the left. But between each other, we twist to the right, like this. Now we have to tie the plate with a piece to the usual knot, so it doesn't unravel while we do the second one. On the other side do the same, twist them to the left side, but between each other we twist to the right. We hold it together and you can unravel that knot. The length about 3.5 centimeters, and now around the finger we tie a knot, like this. And tighten it well. And now we'll braid, divide the thread like this, in one 3, in second 3 and in the third 2, and braid until the ends of our yarn. At the end, also around the finger make a knot and tighten it well. Cut the ends, and we only have to lace up the side loops where you can slip the braid. So such a simple and stylish Y2k top we have for you, and it really can be crocheted a couple of hours. Ties on the back you can tie at the waist or back as you like. I like to wear here at the waist. Thank you for watching this video, I'm sure you did well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye, kiddos!